What's going on, everyone? This is Fighting Words with Kevin Shells. I'm Shells.
Kev, 8 Count Sports.
And tonight we got a special guest. This man here is a pioneer in the slap fighting community.
Yes, sir.
He's ranked number 4 in the heavyweight division in power slap. When I say power, this is no second-rate slap fighting promotion. This is the premier slap fighting promotion of the world. So this is number 4 in the entire world. Who we got with us today? Ryan, the King of King Phillips. What's going on, brother? Thank you for coming on our show, man.
Nice intro, brother. Thank you.
We appreciate that, bro. Now, before we get into slap fighting, you described yourself as a street brawler. We assume before you got into, power slap, a street brawler who lived for combat. Could you give us more insight in that part of your life? Were you the type of guy that seeked out these fights, or was just trouble always coming your way and you just knew how to finish it?
Yeah, it was more or less trouble coming my way, or me sticking up for someone else. I really never looked for it. I've always been a big guy, and I don't like to be a bully per se. So
you was the bully's bully.
Yeah, right. In high school, I was a friend of everyone.
Nice.
The nerds, the goths, the jocks, everybody. I liked everybody, but I would definitely stand up for people and stick up for people too. That's something I would do, and it caused a lot of fights, and I knew how to throw down. But I've taken my fair share of losses as well. I've taken hits,
as we all do. Could you tell us a story of the craziest fight you've been in?
I would have to say it's probably the one that a lot of people know about is I was at a high school dance with like 1,300 people at a high school dance, and 3 kids were going to jump my little cousin, and I went up to him and I said, "Hey man, apologize to my cousin. You can't do nothing." Well, they ended up firing off on me and getting if I had 3 guys firing off on my face all at once. One of my friends picked the one guy up, threw him into a speaker, cut the music out, so everyone's eyes went right to that scene. So they saw me give a good ass whooping. I put one of the guys in the hospital. One of the guys got knocked out. I had a split eye. I had a wood chip because I power bombed some guy through a table. I had a wood chip through my lip, and I got kicked out of high school for that one. So
really,
yeah, that was probably the biggest one of my life.
What grade would you win?
I was a sophomore. No, junior. Sorry, it was the beginning of junior year. Yes.
So when you got kicked out of high school, were you able to go to another one, or just like?
No, I was in a private school.
Okay.
And then I eventually moved over to public school, which was Wall Township High School. Yeah.
Gotcha. All right, that's what's up.
Power bomb through a table. That's out of the pages of ECW. That's crazy.
Yeah, we're wild now. Back in the day, we were pretty bad kids. We had a reputation, and in New Jersey, we settle everything with our fists. So there was a lot of that going on, and now that I moved to Ohio, it's more guns and knives and just weapons. You don't want to start fights with anyone around here because that might be the last day.
Yeah.
Understood.
Wow, that I was segueing into. I'm so glad you said Jersey. So you came up in Jersey?
Yeah, 21 years of my life I lived on the Jersey Shore.
Oh, all right. Because I was about to ask you an Ohio question. All right. Okay. All right, cool. Well, this could pertain to that because I was gonna say Ohio's a football state. Jersey, coming up in Jersey, like what were your dreams and aspirations? Like what were some of the activities that you were into or things that you enjoyed doing with your buddies and guys, or like was there anything? Most of us had dreams coming up. Like what was it? Because power slap obviously wasn't around back then. But what were some of the things you were into back then, as far as for sports, activity, or what have you?
Yeah, so I was really into like the beach and stuff, and I was surfing, bodyboarding, doing a lot of skateboarding. But through that, I was really interested in biology and science. I like science, so what I wanted to be when I was younger, I wanted to be an astronaut. But when I grew up, I wanted to be a marine biologist. So I actually tried to go and get into a school, took a test, but I didn't get into that school. But I went to that other private school, which was a highly regarded school, so I could become a marine biologist.
Awesome.
It's crazy to say you want to be an astronaut because now what you do for a living now is you send people to the stars anyway. So
There's a correlation, I guess. Yes. Written in the stars.
Now, with the intro, I said you were a pioneer in the slap fighting community, and you earned that because you were on the first season of Power Slap's Road to the Title. How did Power Slap reach out to you, and what made you accept the offer?
Well, even before that, we had a secret event back a year before the show actually even was taped.
Okay.
So I was actually a part of the qualifier, which is a completely separate thing. But how I got into that was one of a person that I know knew a guy that was the executive producer for The Ultimate Fighter, who's also from Cleveland. And he just ended up telling the person I was friends with, hey, Dana White's looking to start a slap league. You know anybody? My friend's like, I got the best guy. Kidding? Because he knew I was trying to get into slap fight championships.
Okay.
So he was like, I got this guy. He's tough. I've seen him fight, and he's WWE style. He's got a larger than life personality. Yeah, he was giving him all the all the talking points. And I got connected with Gary DeFranco and sent him some pictures of me training and things of that sort. And yeah, here I am today.
That's what's up. Nice.
Yeah, the qualifier event though was crazy because if you want to talk pioneer status, there's a group of guys that were on this qualifier event, and those are the true pioneers. When a lot of us say OG, it's only regarded to a certain few people. So it's we are true pioneers. I am a true pioneer, I would say. Yes. That's my own horn.
Look, two, King Ryan, man, King of Kings. Two,
baby. Let's go.
Definitely. And that goes right into my next question. I was about to ask you about I gotta commend you on this Rob Perez fight, the dude with the one eye, man, and the qualifier. This was is my favorite fight. Yeah. That was a straight classic. And Shells, I'm gonna ask an additional question with this. That was an amazing fight. And the first question, let me just ask you this. You haven't been dropped yet. How proud are you of that?
I'm extremely proud. I got one of the best chins in the game. Really, the only reason why I was wobbled with Rob was because the first slap that he hit me with was a direct palm.
Yeah.
Right to my jugular. So he missed my face altogether and hit me with jugular. So the first one was a club, but they didn't call it because it was the qualifier and they didn't give a shit. They called no fouls. So it was game on. It was like, if he dies, he dies. Like Steve Mazzagatti was there. He was ready to go. Man.
Oh, Steve
Old Steve Mazzagatti's on the replay table.
Oh,
man.
My
goodness. He's actually there.
Really? I thought Dana White was done with him, man.
No, bro, you saw when you seen him like, nah, they got him here. Like,
you know, this is barely legal, right?
I was like, get the tombstone engraved and ready, bro. Mazzagatti's here.
All right. So here's the follow-up. You were selected first by Wolverine, somebody definitely highly regarded. Did you feel additional pressure with that number one pick?
No, absolutely not. I was just honestly, I'm so prepared for this. I feel like I'm destined to do this for some reason. But as far as like within my heart, soul, and spirit, man, I was the most excited. Like I looked up to Wolverine as far as how he holds himself as a champion, as a fighter, how he doesn't give up. He just takes bombs, man. You want to talk about someone who has been knocked down? He just got knocked down, and he's been doing this for years. So he's for him to pick me first was a true honor.
Yeah, man, that was crazy.
That, yeah.
If I could pick one person to be the ambassador of the slap fighting community, it would be Wolverine. The way, like you said, the way
Yeah.
he carries himself and things of that nature, and his resume, yeah, like that's a solid dude. And
And he got that
it was
respect. You could
yeah.
kind of sense that everybody kind of, you could see it. It kind of comes off on the screen. As spectators watching it, you kind of see that everybody kind of has that respect for him. It's there.
Yeah, absolutely. He is the GOAT for sure.
So you being this man's first pick, how was it like, or what was it like living in a house of men that you described on the show as being full of testosterone and mayhem? Like, what made you like? You was like the cool, calm one, and all that chaos. What made you like? What made you keep your cool? And how was this like just being among them and maneuvering among those men?
See, this is the problem with the show, man. Is that they didn't show everything, bro.
I feel they didn't.
Could they?
Yeah, like no one was keeping their cool, and I definitely didn't. I snapped. I actually had Azael and Jesus both by the neck, carrying them to the room, throwing them in their beds, telling them to get the fuck to bed because they woke me up. I was, me and Vern got into it during training because I told him to watch his foot because he was stepping. During practice, he was like, "Don't you fucking tell me how to coach, motherfucker!" And he got on my face. So it was like, nah, dude, we were all at it.
It was on.
But they only showed. I'll tell you this: they only showed literally the first 3 days of us being in a 3-week house.
Wow! All of that. Wait! Come on, whoa! So that entire show, all that drama was just stretched over 3 days.
That was the first 3 days of us being in the house, my man. That's how chaotic it was. When I say mayhem and testosterone, I'm talking the highest degree.
Wow.
Yo, that's crazy. I'm gotta just off of that. I gotta rewatch the whole show again. Just with that context. That's.
I could go into some funny stuff, but here's an exclusive tale for you, bro. I'll tell you this one, okay? So I have kind of like a little beef with the Iron Giant. I call him the Jello Giant, Lane Crespo, right? So he was really he talked down to a lot of guys, you know what I mean? Like Jesus, Jesus, he was like, who are you fighting? Jesus was like, I'm fighting so and so. And he was like, oh man, you're definitely gonna lose that one. Like,
oh man,
yeah. The poor kid, man. He's just trying to make it. He's the youngest kid here. So I was like, man, I would notice that, and like I would be like, that's fucked up. So he was bullying people, and he came in, he was talking to me, and he was talking all crazy, and I'm like, whatever, man. So I left the room. So Russell Rivera is a big drinker.
Yes.
So I go, Russell, Dwayne's talking shit about you in that room. And he's like, what the fuck? He's like, are you serious? And I'm like, yeah, bro. Like, the fuck? He's like, what's he saying? I'm like, I don't know. He's like undermining you. He's like, I'm like, come on. He's like, he came with me. And he gets in the room, and he's over, and Dwayne's sitting down, and Russell's over top of him. He's like, who you talking about, motherfucker? And I'm like, yeah, Dwayne, what the fuck you talking about? And he's like, what do you mean? I ain't saying nothing. And Russell's like, oh yeah, and he goes, boom, pops him in the face.
Wow.
Punches him in the face. And Dwayne's like, call the people, because we have a phone for security. And he's like, call the people. So I orchestrated a hit on Dwayne.
Oh, that's crazy.
And he was asleep. Was he asleep?
No, he was awake.
Oh, he was awake. Talking. Okay.
It was just random. It was fucking hilarious. I was like, I just knew it's something crazy. I was trying to make a ton of shit happen for the cameras. So like, I was throwing water on people and like throwing stuff at them and just being a dork. I was having fun.
That's all in fun.
Yeah, like everyone was waking me up and shit at like early in the morning. They wouldn't go to sleep, so I was like, "Fuck it, I'm gonna fuck with people."
Yeah, that's annoying. Disrupt a man's sleep, man.
Yeah, that's the worst. Did you form any bonds with these men that carried on beyond the show that last till to this day, with all that mayhem and stuff like that? Okay.
Yeah, I think all of us have a little bond, even if we don't talk to each other. We probably hit each other up for something and pick up where we started. There's a couple of guys though that I have some beef with.
Okay.
That turned out to be a little bit, pushy and asking for money almost weekly, asking me for crazy amounts of money and just being just a beggar. So that I think that's pretty prevalent who I am talking about. But yeah, I'm not cool with some people, but I mean, yeah, most of the guys for sure I still talk to this day.
So from what you say, the drama continues beyond the show.
I mean, yeah, it's like I don't know why, but if you make like 40,000-50,000 for the show, why are you hitting me up for $2,200 worth of rent? You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. No, I hear you. I hear you.
Yeah.
I hear you.
I loaned some bums some money once before, and they fucking jumped into a Mercedes Benz, so I'm never gonna do that again.
Man,
messed it up for everybody else.
Trust me, yeah. Like I know that feeling. I've lent money to a friend, and right after that, we went to the club, and he spent money in the car. I'm like, I might get my money again. That's when I knew I was getting my money. Like I let you money in the afternoon. We had a party. You spent. I'm like, I ain't getting this again. Like so, it wasn't a Benz, but I get that feeling. I know that feeling. Like
Got you. So all right. So going back to the show, the Crespo fight, that seemed like a real tough one, and he's a tough cookie, and definitely a heavy hitter. In that fight, what was going on? You see, you had to use the opposite hand. What exactly, and from your perspective, was going on?
So what happened was 2 days before the actual fight, we were practicing on one of those boss dummy systems, and I slapped it really hard. Me and the Bell were going slap for slap, trying to show off our power and trying to knock the dummy down and just kind of goofing around. But yeah, I actually turned it very serious because when I slapped it as hard as I could. It blew my bicep tendon completely in half, and I watched as my bicep rolled up almost into my shoulder.
Oh, you watched it happen
and disappear. Yeah, it was really crazy. It was disgusting, and it scared the shit out of me. But never in my mind did I not think I was going to compete. Also, I had a tear in my left arm that me and the Wolverine were joking about. I'm like, oh, good thing we have the right, but I ended up blowing the right, so I had to use the left. I just watched the episode where the guy hurt his arm and didn't fight, and he was saying it would be a disrespect to his opponent. I agree. I mean, I disagree on that. I think he should have went in there with the left and got that guy a paycheck. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he possibly could have won. You never know. You got to test yourself, right?
Yeah, definitely.
So for me, I went in there with the left. There was no doubt in my mind I wasn't gonna not go in there. I believe I may have won. I definitely had the cleanest shot in the fight because he was hitting me in the eye the whole time.
Oh man.
So yeah, but I did get that. If I didn't get that point, I probably would have won it.
So let me ask you. So how, in a sense, being disarmed like that, like how frustrating was that? And again, he's a heavy hitter, and he's actually moved on and was able to secure a title shot. How frustrating was that, especially in hindsight, as he started to roll on, you're the number one pick, and then that happens, and it's how frustrating was it being I don't want to say handicapped, but not being at your best in that moment. How frustrating was that? How was it feeling on that?
Frustrated, but you can't change what happens. Okay. I just accepted it for what it was, and I was like, I'm just gonna go full out with my left. I could still use the left. I gave it all I got, and I still lost. Like I said, do I think I lost when you run it back? Really? I mean, I think a lot of people agree with me too, and that's really all I care about. The record doesn't explain the story.
Respect,
I was frustrated watching it for you at the time. I'm like, yo, like this, like it's just. I'm like, yo, could you imagine? To me, it was like watching. It was like watching your favorite basketball player. He's sick. Like you just heard he sprained his toe, and he's still. And you like, come on, like it was frustrating. I was frustrated for you watching it.
Yeah. Thanks, man.
Of course, bro. But now your next fight, it wasn't until Power Slap 5 against Darius the Destroyer, who is a legend in himself. Talking about OGs, he was actually the head coach opposite the Wolverine during the first season of Road to the Title. What was the reason for such a long hiatus? And what were you doing in all that time?
Rehabbing
okay.
my arm.
Okay.
Honestly, and this is the thing. My arm, I needed surgery for it. they needed to reattach it and whatnot. Usually that type of injury, it's about a 9 to 12 month recovery period.
Okay.
I got the surgery in December, and I came back in October to fight. So that or yeah, December. So that's what, like 8 months, 8 or 9 months.
Yeah.
I came back. So I came back a little early. People thought I wasn't even going to come back.
Right.
Gotcha.
So and then they throw me to Darius the Destroyer, who's a monster.
Yeah, that's your first one. That's your that's your test if you still
Have fun.
Yeah.
I know you want to talk about mental games. I'm like, Jesus, they're trying to get rid of me here.
Okay.
Oh my goodness.
So yeah, I mean, like they didn't really roll out the red carpet for me on this one. So, but yeah, I was rehabbing the arm. And that's why I was out for that long. The majority of the time, probably a good 6 months, I wasn't able to lift, or I didn't have doctor's orders to even compete.
Oh
wow. So let me ask you, I'm going into that bout with Darius, and you hadn't won yet. Did you make any adjustments to your training going into that? Like, did you feel any kind of pressure? And did you kind of make any adjustments, or did you feel like, I'm just a little snake bit, I'm gonna turn it around? Did you have that confidence, or did you say to yourself, did you make any adjustments, whether it's coaching, anything?
Well, between that time, I was actually coaching all of the guys from the events. I think I only missed one event as the cornerman coach. So I had a lot of time of reflecting on my strategy, as well as seeing new strategies, learning from the guys themselves as well, seeing what they bring to the table, and trying to piece it together for myself. So yeah, I was definitely trying, giving it my all. I was training. I wasn't training 100% because still my arm wasn't healed all the way, I would say, but I had good training techniques to where I was making it more what you call it. It was strengthening up, but it wasn't. It was like more 50% when I fought Darius. So yeah, I definitely tried to go as hard as I could, but this next one I'm definitely going to go full throttle.
So let me get this straight. So on your coming back fight against the legend in Darius the Destroyer, you're telling us that you wasn't even 100% walking into that.
Unfortunately not, man.
Okay.
Yeah, it was. To be honest with you, my mindset of going into that was the way I'm gonna win is with my chin. That was how I was gonna win.
Oh, okay.
Wow. And you showed. You got fouled all night. You took it and ain't flinch.
No flinch. Yeah, I got in his head really bad.
It was a crazy back and forth. Matter of fact, I never seen Darius so worked up.
I'm saying. I was like, wow.
He was out of character.
Yeah, when I was on stage, I was surprised. I was like, wow. He was calling me a bitch and like,
it was crazy. Like y'all was really going at each other. It was crazy.
Yeah.
What went through your head when you finally got your hand raised, bro?
Oh, there was a lot, man. It's funny because I go through the comments and I see people saying like, "Man, why are you celebrating so hard? It was a DQ and things of that sort." But let me start off with saying, I needed the win purse, man. I needed that money. It really helped out. I mean, the relief from coming off that injury and fighting a legend like Darius the Destroyer, not at 100% still too, was weighing heavily on my mind. I was sick for a lot of that time too with the flu, and I was just going through a lot of stuff, man. I wasn't able to use my right arm for like 4 months, so I had to do, and I don't have anyone to help me out around the house or stuff. So it was just a really tough time going through that, and it was just, I had a lot to prove. A lot of people were looking up to me. Like you said, I was the first pick for Wolverine. People started seeing me as Coach Ryan. And if I'm starting to coach, you gotta win.
Right. The respect.
So there was a lot of pressure, man, and I lost it that night. I lost. I was so relieved, man. They raised my hand, and I was like, and I was an underdog, and there was doubters, and I was just ready to scream at everyone. You know what I mean? I just wanted to
you was going off. You was going off like, I'm the one.
Let me ask you, because I wasn't going to ask this, but let me ask you, and if you don't feel comfortable answering this, cool. Did the memory of your parents inspire you in that fight? After the fight, I heard you talk to a Charlie, and sometimes in adverse situations, these things come up. You go back. It's who knows what you're gonna think about when your back is to the wall. Sometimes who knows what comes up. You think of your kids. You think of so much other things, and just want to ask you, like, was that the inspiration?
Well, I'll tell you this.
Yep.
When I go up there to fight, right? It's
Hmm.
slap fighting. It isn't like a normal fight. You're gonna get hit, and you're gonna get hit with something that the other person, everything that the other person has,
Yeah,
and that on your mind is just like you got to. I say it's 80% mind and 20% your slap. It's really hard to overcome that. For me, I think about some of I think about my mom, I think about my dad, I think about the pain that I went through because there was a lot of stuff like my family robbing me of all my belongings and
mm,
things of that sort. And those are really, really tough times. But they brought out the man in me. You know what I mean?
yeah,
And I think about those times before I fight and go up there, so I can get in that trigger, I can get in that anger, and because I'm a 23 hours, 23, 24 hours of the day, I'm a nice guy, but I have to
that
get,
switch.
yeah, I got to get that kill mode. And there's a couple of things that involve my parents that I think back to with people doing us wrong, um, and where I want to really like turn up and like unleash a monster. You know what I mean? It makes me a monster. In my head, there's something going on when I think of that stuff, and it makes me a fucking monster.
Mm,
Um, and I can't feel pain. Because it's just I just want to terminate. I just want to like get up there. I just want to. Yeah, I'm not. It's not really me that's controlled up there. I'm just going nuts.
mm.
And yeah, that you saw it because when I'm doing my interview, I was
Yeah,
all over the place, man.
yeah, the switch ain't turned off.
Yeah, I was like, woo, the
Yeah.
adrenaline. I've never felt like these slap fights bring. It's like I've been through like crazy events, like life or death events, rushes, things of that sort. But these slap fights bring. It's crazy how it feels up there, man. Like it when you get hit and you survive that hit, it's like it's fun. It's like
Mm.
I don't know what it is, man. It's wild, but yeah, I was definitely out of my mind, and it took a lot for me to calm down after that.
Copy.
By the way, you need to speak to Uncle Dana because they need to fix your record, bro. I checked the site, and they still got you as owned. They need to give you a W, bro. Like, you know what I mean? Like, they didn't. Matter of fact, earlier in the show, I said you're ranked number 4 in the heavyweight division. You're probably ranked higher than that because you defeated the legend and Dare to Destroy. I mean, it's like, what's going on? They need to like, get that up there. You know what I mean? You
They
know,
didn't
let
update
them know.
they didn't update a Power Slap 5. It seems like they didn't update it. A lot of the records are one off.
Yeah, they need to
Uh,
fix that, man.
I'm not sure what's going on there, but I'll tell you this: I'm actually 1-0 because the 0-2 is non-sanctioned. They're exhibitions, so I'm actually 1-0 against Arius. Yeah.
Even more reason why they need to
Okay.
fix that.
All right.
They need to fix that. You know, that's a good
Yeah,
point. They need to
they
fix
sure
that.
do need to fix that.
I don't know what they're doing, man.
But
I hope what I'm thinking they're doing is they're making a whole new website.
All right, well,
yeah,
we'll be
yeah,
on the
that would
lookout for
make
that.
sense. That would make sense. Well, let me ask you.
New year.
Let me ask you. Have they approached you about a future fight, like a title fight or anything like that? You were ranked 4 coming in. Have they approached you about anything else?
Um. Well, I already announced it. Yeah, I am going to be fighting on February 9th.
All right.
So the Super Bowl weekend.
Whoa.
But
Okay.
but yeah, I can't say who. first li-
All
first
right.
live event. First live
Hey.
event too. Yeah.
All right.
Yes.
I'm excited.
Yo,
I'm
you are
excited.
the first. You're the first of many things. First, on one of the first to be on the first season of Road to the Title. The first pick for Wolverine, and now the first to be in a live on Super Bowl weekend. Like, man, this is the man right
Weekend.
here.
Oh, my
So
weekend
you're
is
the
done.
First UFC fighter to be spotlighted on the UFC Instagram. What was that? What else? I'm the number one power. I'm the number 1 speed. Number 1 shoulder force. I'm just like there's a lot of number 1s.
Man, go all around, bro. Go all around.
Listen, I can't wait to see you 100% because the chin is there.
Yeah,
Man, you're gonna be a nightmare. You are going to be a nightmare.
That Crespo fight was gonna go a totally different way if I had my right.
I want to see that again because he's done so well, and I'm watching and I'm like,
I love to see that get back. I love to see
it's
that.
funny how things go. It's not funny, but it's interesting how the story goes.
Dude, you don't even know. If I had my right for the Crespo match, it would have been one and done. I would have
one hit a quitter.
One and done. My left was so bad, and the second shot I hit him with the left moved him 4 steps. He was walking backwards, like
yeah. You felt it.
I was like,
you felt it.
Oh, I was like, man, if I had to. That's when I was like, man, I wish I had my fucking right. Knocked him out.
Now let's get into something outside of the slap box, the power slap arena. You have a podcast with a fellow heavyweight power slap striker in Dorian Disturbing the Peace Perez. First of all, it's called the Barefisted Podcast. Everyone wants you guys to I'm gonna let you promote your stuff right after this.
Thank you.
How did you guys link up, and how did the idea for podcast come about?
Well, it actually started, this is really crazy, but it started with me, Jesse Nutting, Dwayne Crespo, and Dorian Disturbing the Peace.
Okay.
And we all, me and Jesse were like, we should do something. And I have the skills, I have good computer skills. So I was like, yeah, I'll throw something together real quick for us. And eventually it just got better and better and evolved into what it is today. And we would have guests on from all spectrums of combat sports. Street beefs, legends, legends of UFC fighters, Bellator, you name it. We had kickboxing. The ISKA Olympic coach was on one time. So yeah, it became just like a cool thing for us to do. Dorian, he's a great friend of mine. That's the match that's going to be the match. I'm going to get the belt just so I can call him out and have him fight me, so we can have the best match in power slap history. But he's that's like my brother, man. Now we have Devin Schwan on the podcast, the Dapper Slapper.
Okay.
Who is actually hopefully coming back soon. Finally. I'm so stoked to see that guy. He actually was the first guy to fight Vern Cathy, the mechanic.
Okay.
Yeah, the guy with the tattoos all over his head.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, but he's the man. He's a beast.
The Dapper Slapper. I love that name. That's dope.
So I want to go back to something you just said. So out of all the strikers in the heavy division, Disturbing the Peace, he's the one that interests you the most for a matchup against?
Let's put it this way, right? So you know how you fight McGregor, right? That's the money fight, right?
Yeah, that's the money fight.
So Dorian is like me. And Dorian, Dorian, and One-Eyed Wolf were all like, we were outside of a casino punching each other in the stomach, going crazy, taking rounds, going around and around. I'm like, bro, we gotta stop before I start pissing blood and we can't compete. You know what I mean? Like, Jesus Christ. So me and these two guys, we're all alike. We're all crazy. So, the One-Eyed Wolf match, stellar, legendary match. Dana White says it's Hall of Fame material. Dorian, I think me and Dorian can bring it even harder. I think, and especially now that we have all this experience too, I think it would be one of the craziest matches you'll ever see.
Entertaining too, because Dorian talk it too. He chirping, the facial expression. Oh,
dude, it would be one of the wildest matches you'll ever see. But I'm not saying that people like Nate Bernard or the Bell or even the new guys that are coming up. I like that Logan Greenhall guy.
Okay.
He's a beast. I'd like to compete against him. I like to compete against anyone, but this is the problem. I'm too heavy. When I weightlift and I start training, I drop weight quick because I shouldn't be at 260.
Wow.
Like I'm normally 185, 200, bro. So
Really?
yeah. So we're gonna see about what happens with my next matches here. You know, I'm gonna try to get that heavyweight belt real quick, and then I'll defend it, and then yeah, I want to fight Wolverine.
Wow.
Okay. You ready to hear
Wow.
first, guys, on fighting words, man.
And that division down there's some sharks down there too. You got
So,
Terp, you got is AJ still what's AJ Hints? What's his well, I'm messing his name up.
Yeah,
You got some sharks down there too. That so you
Russell,
so,
Byrne,
yeah.
Devin,
Oh man, so you're telling me, wow, you going up against the big guys. Hey,
I am the big guy though.
wow. The
I
big
am
guy.
the big guy though. You gotta think that.
No, I'm
What if
talking about as far
hey,
as in the heavyweight division.
right? So, well, yeah. For me, the only way is up, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I have two of the big. I have giants in front of me.
That's,
But
that's what I'm
that's what I
saying.
want. That's all I want, though, man. Like I'd rather be remembered for fighting monsters than being remembered for fighting peasants. You know?